Hi, hello, my name is Gabiio, and today we're still doing mermaids. So I did say that I was going to finish Mermay, and I still am. I'm in a bit of a stump right now. It's the end of June. I want it to be finished now, and Zelda has been taking a lot of my time, and so did finding a job. But all that aside, I am really happy with the pieces that I have today. I think they're really different than what I usually do, so I'm really excited about that. Also, I see so much improvement from doing it. So I still think that it's really important to finish it, and I'm really excited about it. So let's get on to it, I guess. Okay, so this is day 10, and for day 10 I wanted something easy, something breezy. I just came from my drag queen series, kinda, which was kind of intense in a good way. I liked it a lot. But when I came back from it, I wanted something simpler, I think, and I wanted something more relaxing, something I've done before. So I made a laying mermaid, some laying in the sun. She has some sunburns with fun colors, as you can see on her shoulders, breasts, and face. And then the tail is like a complementary-ish color to the rest of the water. Now we're in the cyan part, by the way. That's what we start with, because last time we finished on normal blue, and now we're straight into really bright blue. I'm really satisfied with the shading of this. I think it was this really simple piece, but it turned out actually really fun and pretty, and I like it a lot. I think the water reflection is also really cool for what I could do. And yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this. I think the splashes of texture at the end were really satisfying. I'm really happy with this. Day 11. For that one I wanted to do... Okay, so I wanted to do... I like to draw pretty boys, right? That's what I do. When I draw boys, they're pretty usually because I think that's fun. And so for the pretty boy that I wanted to do that day, I wanted to do a fat pretty boy because kind of relates to me. I mean, I'm a fat person, and also I think fatness is pretty. I'm sorry. So I made him bubble gum pink. And I added a lot of colorful shading, kind of like I did with my Hell Followed With Us series whole shenanigans, because I don't know, I think it's really pretty, and I'm kind of going into that style a lot generally recently because I think that's really fun. I am really satisfied with this. Somehow he kind of looks like me in a way, and I think that's cute and silly. And he was based upon a betta fish with really pretty fins and very feminine and soft and woo. And so this is the final product. I really like it. I think the shading turned out really fun. Day 12. For this one I wanted to do another pretty boy. I don't know, I felt in a pretty boy fucking gaze, I guess. And so I redrew a mermaid I did a couple of years ago, so in 2020, the last time I did a full mermaid, and last time he was during the orange part of the mermaid section, so he was super tanned and orange water, and I thought it was really cool, so I just put it into cyan because his skin color was literally an opposite color to cyan in general. So I put that cyan towards green, which is the next color anyway in our rainbow, and I made his skin kind of orangey, super flashy with orange scales. And I'm so happy with this. I think it's one of the best pieces I've done this entire mermaid, so at least so far. I think he's super pretty. I think it turns out super well. The shading of the skin is super soft, super pretty, but soft but harsh, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm really happy with this. It is one of my favorites. So for day 13, we're going into the green territory. This is kind of when you can feel that I am starting to get a bit burnt out by mermaid. We're only halfway there, right? But that's when I was struggling a bit, which is okay. I mean, yeah, it's okay. So for that one, I literally decided to do a very afraid kind of mermaid holding her tail, and I decided to shade it in a way that one artist I love on Twitter and on book covers does it, Corey. I'll leave their stuff here. They don't always do that kind of shading, but sometimes they go with a super small brush and kind of shade everything, and I wanted to experiment with that because I think it looks super cool, super pretty, and so that's what I did. And I played a lot with transparency in the fins too, which is really fun. Yeah, I like this for what it is. I don't think it's one of my best, but I like the shading a lot. I think it's pretty. So we're at day 14 now, and for day 14 I decided to do an environmental piece. These are not necessarily my strong suit, especially in an environment like this, and I wanted to like play with it and practice it, because that I'm gonna have to do some environments. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the most satisfying one I've ever done. I think the perspective is a bit weird, but the image reference I had also had weird perspective, so I'll have to work on it, I guess. But the shading, on the other hand, and the color choice, I think turned out really, really cool. I wanted to have like this kind of rusty, gross, and disgusting type of vessel at the bottom of the sea, and I think it turned out like super well. And like the green like over the top was like fun, and I don't know, I put a mermaid in there just so it was like mermay actually, but that's kind of what you kind of have to do with those kinds of challenges. Do something, yes, that's related to the challenge, but something that you need to do or that you find cool. I don't know. The next one, day 15, is a sad one. I decided to represent the Fuji mermaids, which are, you know, the terrible mistreated / murdered monkeys that were fucking hot glued or like super glued together with fish tails. It's horrific what they did to these animals, especially if you care about animal abuse and stuff, but I think they look cool as like a kind of bad symbolism, I guess. So that's what I did. I really like the shading. I really like using a color changing brush nowadays, and just like using that color over and over again. So to shade, like just like use it again, little strokes to cover a really big area. I think it looks really cool, and it gives like a lot of like cohesive like texture, I guess, while still being pretty. And I'm really happy with the grass. It was a fucking labor of love. As you can see, I drew every blade of glass individually, one by one, with the same color changing brush, and it took forever. It took like an afternoon. I'm genuinely not joking, but it turned out like really textured, really fun, really pretty. And I think that's what matters at the end of the day, is that I like the piece. It's really different from what I've been doing too, which like I like having a branding, and I like being able to do what I do, and I like being able to like have a recognizable art, and I don't think this is unrecognizable by any means, but I also like to go a bit away from what's predictable for me, I guess, and do stuff that are more, you know, angled towards what other people could do, and do different things. It's just like branching out. I like the idea of not being static, which I think is just like a normal thing in art, if I'm honest. And with the colors, it went more into yellow, so harmonizing with the rainbow. We're studying yellow now. For the first one, I wanted to do a like anglerfish type deal, but my version of an anglerfish. So to do that, I kind of drew her like she was a doll, with very like exaggerated features, like exaggerated blush, exaggerated eye colors and stuff. And I think it turned out like a really fun design. I don't think it's revolutionary by any means, but I think it's fun. And if you could see, like behind her hair is the giant eyes that are peering at you. They're peeping. They're looking for you. Which is kind of fun too, I guess. For the shading, I kind of did it like faster than a lot of them, because again, I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more than just mermaids, and that's what happens sometimes. You kind of have to, you know, play with the mermaid stuff and actually like, I don't know, have fun other way. And sometimes you have to sometimes you have to like just do a concept that you like, even though the final piece is not like your favorite, and I think that's okay. And yeah, so I put a lot of like texture around the side, like she's offering you a light because she's an anglerfish that's trying to eat you. And I like it overall. I think like it's definitely not one of my best pieces by any mean, but I think it has a fun concept and it's cohesive. And yeah, I like it. Next one, I drew a couple of days after I saw The Little Mermaid, the remake, and I liked it a lot. I don't think this is a good piece by any means. Like, if you're trying to hire me for any job, don't look at this drawing. I don't think I nailed Haley Bailey's face, like, by any means, but I really like the background, and I like some of the shading, but I was also, like, in a slump at that moment, and I don't know, it was not my best drawing day, but that's kind of what happens with those kinds of, challenges. Sometimes it just doesn't work like you want, and that is also okay, and you have to be kind to yourself on those stuff. All the art pieces you're gonna do is not always your favorite, and that's okay, especially on a challenge that forces you to draw like a lot, like Mermay could do, like Inktober can do, etc, etc, etc. For this one, I actually went back after and I redid the face with like liquify to make it look more like the actress's face. The thing is that live singing is hard to draw. Okay, this one is actually interesting. So it's the last one for the yellow part. And as you can see, I was struggling to find a concept that I liked, and then I landed on this like cephalopod type character, which I'm gonna come back to, don't worry. But then I decided to, again, inspired by the Little Mermaid movie, there's like a mermaid that everybody calls hot, which Scion, I guess. But because of that, I decided to draw a merman, yeah. That's like categorically pretty, like beautiful man. And put him in horrible situations. He's gonna come back again. This is the first part of his 4-piece story, I think. There's gonna be 2 in this video and 2 in the last video that I'm doing. I'll show you what he from now on he's every 3 drawings. But in this one he has fallen. We don't know what happens, but he is unconscious and falling down, and this is the final product, and I did it all with like Derwin type pen, and I like it a lot actually. I think it turned out super good. Now we are in the orange category, and we're redoing one of my favorite thing to draw ever. I knew I already drew her. I knew I already drew her when I did this, but first of all, I didn't record that, and second of all, I was like euphoric from watching The Little Mermaid. My review of The Little Mermaid, not a like incredible movie, but Melissa McCarthy like stole every scene from that fucking movie. So I redid the makeup. Because of makeup from the movie, let's not talk about it. But I redid the makeup like I would do, and I put a lot of texture, and it was such a fun piece to do. I think it, apart from like the pretty boy from the Scient, I think this is one of my favorite pieces too. I loved playing with the color. As you can see, the shading, it's like painterly and pretty, and it's very me. And it let me experiment also with color changing shit, which again, I love. I could exaggerate the pose that she has from the movie, exaggerate everything. It's so fun. It's so fun. She's such a fun character to draw. I think you should draw Ursula. This is your call out. If you're watching this, go draw Ursula right now. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I think the like magic looked really fun, and she's so drag queen-esque, and she's so pretty, and yeah, I'm really happy with this piece. Penultimate one. This is a drawing I do also every mermaid, although I always redesign her, and this is Melusine, or Melusine, I don't actually know. She is a double-tailed fairy, which could be weird, but she's a fairy with 2 tails from a lot of European mythologies, and she's also the mascot from Starbucks. If you never actually noticed, Starbucks is a mermaid with 2 tails, like she's wrapping her hand around her tails. And so I did Melusine. In this image, I decided to make her actually making a drink. She's making a strawberry acai refresher with coconut milk, which happens to be my girlfriend's favorite drink. So that was like kind of an homage to her, slash just cute, cheesy shit. I'm sorry. But I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it's super cute, and I really like the face. The makeup is actually really interesting in this, I think, and yeah, I like it a lot. This is the final piece from this video, and it happens to be the second part from the you know, the mermaid's story. So in this one, he is getting escorted by some knights, I guess. He's getting escorted towards a secondary location. Where is that? You'll see later, I guess. So, that piece was not as successful as the first one, I don't think, but it was also a pose I'm not used to do, and it was a lot of stuff I was not used to do at all, and I still had a lot of fun doing it. I think it's really euphoric to sometimes do shit like this that doesn't necessarily look finished, and it's not in your style, but it's still, like, is fun to experiment. I think this is what you should take away from this video, is to experiment. I think it's really interesting to do a challenge like this because it forces you to, like, do stuff you wouldn't do generally, just to keep you entertained, to, like, not lose your mind, which I almost did, and now it's time for the montage. So, I think the final thing we can retain from this video is to experiment, have fun with art. That's the most important in my opinion. If you're doing art that bores you, you really need to change something, just for your own sake. And this is why I'm probably going to change a bit how I'm doing this for the last few ones. I'm probably going to switch over from Procreate to Clip Studio. At the time of recording, we are at 2/3 of June, and I only have one of the next 9 to draw done, which is a problem. But I will finish them on Clip Studio, which is a different medium, and I've been preparing other stuff. On one way, I think I'm kind of bored of this challenge, and on the other, I actually think that it's like boosting me creatively so hard, and so I'm really happy with that, genuinely. That's it for me, I think. I have a lot of projects underway. I have one from a series that I've done before, that I have a new installment coming soon, and I have a Spider Sona video maybe in the plans, so stay around for that. All my social medias are going to be around the screens. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.